Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has demoted Aden Duale. And the question which I'm asking myself is, why would William Ruto demote Aden Duale of all the people? Because let's face it, Aden Duale is loyal to William Ruto. Aden Duale has stuck with William Ruto from the day William Ruto left ODM party. They formed URP together. They formed Jubilee together. They formed UDA party together. As a matter of fact, Aden Duale even promised that he will exit politics with William Ruto.
Then Moi go home and buy a TV. I am telling you, buy a TV. May God give you more years to live and watch how William Samoei Arap Ruto will transform this country. Please, buy a TV. Debt level will come down. In 30 days, Honorable Mbandi and the rest, in 30 days, we have stopped subsidy of petroleum products. No, I am not a minister. I am a member for Garissa Township. Madam Speaker, you need to protect me. I am the member, and I want to thank the people of Garissa Township. They elected me 4 times in 4 different political parties. ODM, URP, Jubilee, and now in UDA. That tells you they have the confidence in the leadership, and all that I moved with the William Ruto. They were telling me, go with the William Ruto. He took me to ODM. He took me to URP. He took me, but I didn't mind because I was a pastoralist. Madam Speaker, I am so happy that what I said many years ago, that I will retire from politics when William Ruto in the State House. That dream has been achieved, and God bless Kenya, God bless the government of William Ruto, and I hope this House will provide the leadership. I know we have a very vibrant opposition. We have got very good leaders on the other side. Let us all work together to protect the interest of our people. And thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Why would he then decide to demote Aden Duale? Because Aden Duale has served the Republic of Kenya since William Ruto took over as the Cabinet Secretary for Defense. The Speaker of the National Assembly today announced that Aden Duale will now be the Cabinet Secretary for Environment. Why would he transfer Aden Duale from the defense? Because as the Cabinet Secretary for Defense, apart from being one of the most lucrative ministries, it also enabled Aden Duale to sit at the highest organ, security organ of the country, the National Security Advisory Council. Aden Duale will no longer be a member of that committee. So in this video, I want us to look at why William Ruto decided to demote Aden Duale. But before you do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But again, before I dive in, allow me to introduce you guys to Lemfi. Lemfi is a mobile money app for users in the UK, Canada, and the United States of America to send money to Kenya. They offer the best exchange rates, and the money will be instantly delivered into M-Pesa account, Airtel Money account, and of course, if you want, directly into your bank account. You can use the link in the pinned comment to download the app. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow me to dive in. Some few weeks ago, or is it now months ago, the Gen Zs staged serious protest in the Republic of Kenya against the finance bill. And the first casualty of those protests were the cabinet secretaries. One of their demands was that William Ruto needed to dissolve the entire cabinet. So William Ruto heeded to that request and he dissolved the entire cabinet. So last week, William Ruto decided to rename 11 members to his cabinet. Aden Duale made return to that cabinet. Professor Kithure Kindiki also made return to that cabinet. Of course, Kipchumba Murkomen was left out. I just want you guys to listen to the president naming that cabinet. And of course, I know most of you might not have noted, but William Ruto was very clever. He would name the former cabinet secretary followed by a new member. Former, new. Listen in.
Individuals for consideration and approval by the National Assembly for appointment as cabinet secretaries and Attorney General. Ministry of Interior and National Administration, Professor Kithure Kindiki. Ministry of Health, Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza. Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development, Alice Wahome. Ministry of Education, Julius Migosi Ogamba. Ministry of Defense, Aden Duale. Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja. Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Roslinda Soipan Tuya. Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, Eric Murithi Muga. Ministry of Roads and Transport, Davis Chircher. Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu. Attorney General, Rebecca Miano.
And as fate would have it, all the cabinet secretaries will have to go through fresh vetting. So the list had to be submitted to Parliament for vetting. So today, the Speaker of the National Assembly read the list from the President. And Kenyans were shocked that Aden Duale had actually been moved.
The President shall nominate and with approval of the National Assembly appoint Cabinet Secretaries. The names of persons submitted to this House for approval for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries are as follows. Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Dr. Deborah Mulongo Baraza, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health. Honorable Alice Wahome, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education. Honorable Roslinda Soipan Tuya, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order. Honorable Rosalinda Soipan Tuya, AGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Dr. Andrew Muhia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order, honorable members. Order. Honorable Aden Duale, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Order. Mr. Order, honorable members, order. 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 I shall not repeat. Order. Honorable Eric Murithi Muuga, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. Mr. Davis Chirchir, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Roads and Transport. Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy. In view of the foregoing and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8 of the Public Appointments, order. Order. Order, honorable members. Order.
And of course, I also noted that the nominee for Attorney General was also missing from the list. And you know, Kenyans with speculations, most Kenyans had already started speculating. And the person who will now be taking over from Aden Duale is none other than Soipan.
Huyu ni waziri anaitwa Soipan Tuya. Huyu mnaona kama ni msichana? Huyu alikuwa girlfriend yangu zamani. Sasa anang'ang'ana na mimi. Sasa mimi ni mtu ya shida mingi, mara ananiombea, mara ananifanyia nini, lakini amenifanyia kazi nzuri.
And even members of parliament were actually shocked by the development.
The process that is now reversing that must start in the most transparent way, without doubt, absolutely. Mr. Speaker, what the President announced is definitely different from what you have read to us. Mr. Speaker, at that point alone, the public will not really have confidence in what we are doing, unless probably the President came and first of all made the changes. He has the ability to do that. But what the public knows of the people we are going to vet is actually what he announced. Now, what we are going to vet now is totally different. Mr. Speaker, what the people believe, whether they are right or wrong, is important. People act from their belief. And when they were running and attacking the National Assembly, it is arising from their deep belief that we do not represent their interest, we are not credible to them. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I find, and you really need to clarify this, why the list you have read to us is different from what the President read. We are starting from a very weak point on that basis alone, Mr. Speaker. We really need to preserve this country, and particularly this House. The challenges are going to be bigger. Leave alone the issue that you dismiss people and then you bring them back. The question is, why did you dismiss them in the first place? But leaving that aside, Mr. Speaker, that credibility is required. We should have the same list, Mr. Speaker.
But the question which we should be asking ourselves, because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, why would William Ruto decide to demote Aden Duale? Why he decided? Because these appointments were just made the other day. William Ruto had a lot of time to come up with a new cabinet. So what happened between that time and now that actually forced the president to rethink about Aden Duale? For me, number one, I think just like there were rumors, our military is a professional military. And when Aden Duale was appointed, he became actively involved as a senior member of UDA in the affairs of the military. Remember, military is a disciplined force. There's a way they take commands. Then, of course, you still have a cabinet secretary who is not part of them. But they have their boss, who is the commander-in-chief, who is William Ruto. Even Rigathi Gachagua as the deputy president is not. Yeah. So there were rumors that the military objected when William Ruto appointed Aden Duale, that the generals, or let's say the military, objected to his reappointment. And maybe they expressed this to the president, and that's why he was left out. I don't want to rule out that possibility. But I know our military is one of the most professional. So maybe that was one of the reasons. Number two, and don't misquote me, there's been some politics around the security system or the security docket in the Republic of Kenya, that William Ruto preferred working with the Kenyans of Somali origin. You go to the DCI, there's a man there. You go to NIS, Haji. You go to defense, those are critical. Yeah. And of course, remember even the deputy IG, Gabo, was just transferred the other day. So which means even in the police, there was someone there. So I don't know what might have happened. But I'm looking at possibility, because we are in a political country where tribes also matter. Maybe some people told the president that, you're the president, yeah? Duale is your friend. The way this country is going, you need to be in charge. You need to have one of your own around. Yeah. So I think Ruto decided that let us a bit the guy at the DCI is safe there. This guy is safe. You cannot just tweak and change them. But this one you can. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. That maybe William Ruto's allies realize that sometimes let us keep Duale out of this. Number three, which I also suspect might have contributed to this, is the blunder by Somali government officials. And of course, you can also attribute it to Aden Duale. When Aden Duale was reappointed, even before the president could finish reading the list, there was celebration somewhere, some youths. The other day I saw elders from the Somali community reading a statement. And some of them were justifying why Aden Duale should be reappointed. That, Sisi, we need security, the Al-Shabaab, they were talking a lot of things. But the government officials from the Republic of Somali took the reappointment of Duale personal. And Kenyans were even wondering. Even today, Aden Duale has been appointed to serve as cabinet secretary for environment. They're congratulating him, picking Aden Duale out of the entire 11 people, picking only Duale, not any other person. And because Kenyans questioned this, I think he did not sit down with the president. And lastly, I'm also suspecting that because William Ruto is the president and he has intelligence, he has realized that majority of Kenyans are actually opposed to Aden Duale going to that docket. And indeed, not only Aden Duale, even the other cabinet secretaries who were in the previous government. Who were in the previous cabinet. Soipan, and Kindiki. So he wants to deal with them one at a time. By demoting him, he believes that Kenyans will now soften their stance on him again. I don't know about Professor Kithure Kindiki, but maybe William Ruto dealing with the vetting of those two at a go was going to be a bit complex. And lastly, I think there is something big that has forced William Ruto to ask to move him. I don't know what to think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, by the way, for the support. I know I've been missing in action, not doing much the whole of this month, really. Yeah, I've been attending to so many things, but hopefully they are ending. Maybe from tomorrow, I'll be a bit busy. I know from Thursday, Friday again, up to Saturday, I'm at Legeza Kidogo, but hope you guys will be understanding. I know a lot of things have been happening. I'm even aware some gentlemen decided to quote me in their videos, which I don't have problems with. And I know there's also a lot of political developments within ODM party. In fact, tomorrow, our first video would be on ODM party. Till next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.